Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. And today we have Bolt. This is a Disney animated feature. It's not Pixar. It's Disney animated from before they started doing. Oh, well, this is well before Frozen, well before Wreck It Ralph. This is from 2008. It's an hour and 38 minutes long. It stars Miley Cyrus and John Travolta in the leads. John Travolta plays Bolt. He's a dog. And yeah, Miley Cyrus plays Penny, his owner, his best friend, and soon he discovers that he's a dog who's living a lie. Uh, he's a if you're into honestly, if you haven't seen this movie, this is one of those things that I don't know. It came out and plenty of people saw it, but for the most part, most people didn't see it as a Disney film because there wasn't a princess involved and there wasn't, this is well before they owned Star Wars. I think this is well before they. This is just before they started taking on Marvel. So this is actually a, sort of a. I hate to say that they Disney has often been about marketing towards young women, and at least it seems that way. They very rarely had any kind of toys or things for boys. There's usually princesses involved. Cars is different. Cars is definitely, but it's Pixar. Pixar has always been its own animal. When it comes to Disney animation, though, this is not necessarily a boy or girl thing here, but it is more action oriented. It is and again, traditionally boys will go for action, suspense, drama. I know that's very stereotypical, but that's how the studios see it. They don't they go with what the easy mark is. They don't necessarily think that that girls would like this kind of thing. They go princesses, girls, boys, action and cars, and violence and things like that. Explosions, and this is plenty of that. In fact, this movie starts out very much as if it was a superhero spy action thriller. Imagine Inspector Gadget with Penny and the dog, but with no Inspector Gadget. It's just the two of them um, facing off against Dr. Calico, which is again also seems like a direct rip from Inspector Gadget. Was Dr. Claw or you know. So yeah, there's a number of homages in this that intentional or not, that's what they appear to be. Um, so you see Penny and Bolt uh, facing down. Her father's been kidnapped, and they have to face down all of Doctor Calico's cat themed evil henchmen. They're on motorcycles and helicopters, and they're shooting at them, and they're on a scooter, and Bolt has super speed, and he has a super bark, and he can leap, and he's invulnerable, and he does everything. And this is the kind of dog anybody would want. It's actually really cool. However, it turns out that everything that Bolt knows is a lie. He's none of these things. He's an actor, and so is Penny. And not really spoiling anything here because that's pretty much the premise you'll find in the trailer. But yeah, he doesn't realize that. In fact, he's one of the main problems is that Penny has is that he's always kept on set. He's always kept in the trailer, and he never sees the real world. She goes out and she has to do her things, her promotions and things like that. But Bolt is kept in this weird world where if he believed that this was fake, they assumed that he would not do his job. Like he wouldn't try to protect Penny. It's a kind of a far stretch, but yes, this is a cartoon, so we can forgive that. So Bolt, when they find out, when the studio finds out that their ratings are dropping, people want not so happy endings. They want a little bit more drama, a little bit more danger. Well, the studio decides that this little television series is going to have a cliffhanger from one episode to the next. Well, that upsets Bolt, and he has no idea at the end of the scene that Penny is perfectly fine because she's an actor. and he's left worried that she's in danger, and he's going to do everything he can to get her back because he's really heroic, despite not realizing he doesn't have superpowers. Everything he does is a special effect, even to the point of, practical effects, to make him believe that he is super. Well, the real drama happens when he escapes the studio and heads out to find Penny, only to find the real world is not exactly what he expected, and he can't find Penny at all. In fact, he gets shipped across the country, and through a series of unlikely scenarios, but he gets shipped across the country, and it becomes not just an action adventure, but a road trip and a buddy comedy, because he takes on some pals along the way, a cat and a hamster in a little hamster ball, and it's Mittens and Rhino. So along the way, he discovers who he really is, and he discovers that he isn't exactly as super as he thought. But yeah, it's to describe that in any further detail, kind of ruins it for any of you who may not have seen this for some reason, for whatever strange reason. I know it said Disney. Some people just go, it'll see anything that says Disney on it, but some people may not. So if you skip this when it came in the theaters, every time I watch this, it gets better. It's really well done. It's kind of ahead of its time in the way it's shot for these 3D action films. This is before, it's 3D animation. It's not shot in 3D. I don't think I saw it in 3D when it came out. Did I? Was it a 3D thing? Because, it's a 2008 movie. I don't remember. But I think I did. I think I took my nieces, and I remember them. It's one of the first 3D movies I think I took them to see. I think. I always take Avatar's 2009 being the forefront of the 3D resurgence. That gimmick. So it makes me think that, maybe this wasn't 3D, but you never know. Either way, you don't need to have 3D to enjoy it. You can, if it was 3D, I think it would be even more interesting to see, because the way the camera moves, through the shots, it's very much James Bond at times. It's very much superhero shots. It's explosions. It's a great fun action film, at least for the first part, and then it becomes an action film without the superpowers as we go along. As Bolt realizes he's not so invulnerable, and it comes to a point where he may even question whether Penny is real or not, because his compatriots, one believes in him, and the other one knows too much of the truth. So that kind of push and pull works on his ego as well. For me, this is every time I get a chance to see this. I haven't seen this in a few years, and I have seen it. I don't know if it was just randomly on at some point, and I just kept it on, and it's always a good time. So I highly recommend this film if you haven't seen it. If you have, and for some reason you don't like it, well, that's too bad for you. But to me, this is a great. Even if I'm not even paying attention to it, it's a great thing to put in the background, and it will draw your attention away from vacuuming the floor, or wiping the window, washing the windows, or whatever. It'll draw you out. It's got plenty of funny moments. Rhino is hilarious. It's the kind of thing that if this had been made a few years later, 10 years later, Josh Gad would have been Rhino. In this case, it's Mark Walton. By the way, Malcolm McDowell plays Dr. Calico, doing his requisite evil guy voice. He's so good at that. Greg German. I'm never sure how to pronounce his name, but he plays this very slimy Hollywood agent for Bolt, and he's just awesomely awful. The director's played by James Lipton. Inside the Actors Studio. Nick Swarsden and Dietrich Bader in this. There's a number of different voices. One actress, Mittens, is Susie Essman. You may not recognize her from a whole lot. She was recently on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and she's done a number of things. Voices on American Dad and a few other things. So yeah, um, it's a great cast. It's not a whole ton of well known, but there's a bunch you'll recognize. At the very end, if you're the music throughout has a bit of a country twang to it. It's not. It's more pop country. Of course, you get a duet at the very end over the credits of Miley Cyrus and John Travolta. I have no idea if this was ever a radio hit or not. Maybe on country music for 5 minutes. I have no idea. Maybe it was a number one. Don't keep track of that stuff. So, either way, it's a nice little tune. But beyond that, one of the really weird things is that instead of aging down Miley Cyrus's voice when she plays a little version of Penny, they got a very young Chloe Grace Moretz, hit girl, to play the young Penny for like one scene. But beyond that, I'm surprised this thing has never been made into a series on Disney XD or whatever, or was it? No, it would be on Disney Plus by now. I'm surprised it never got a sequel, but maybe I guess it just didn't do as well as it could have at the box office. But well. But I highly recommend it if you get the chance to watch it. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. Come on. Did it lose its number? Oh, all right, great. Stop.
460.
460. I'm so entertained by that. I hope you are too. 460. Take your time. 460. Scroll. Don't you love me saying that all the time? 460. Huh. Well, we're in the R's, and it's a return to. There's a number of return to movies. Just about four, maybe. Yeah, four of them. There's 4 return to movies. Can you guess what it is? If not, I'm going to tell you right now. 460 is Return to Neverland. Return to Neverland. So we're getting a little Peter Pan action here. So, assuming that I got that right. Assuming that there is no other Neverland in Disney mythos. But yeah. We're watching Return to Neverland on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow